Right now, there are used cars sitting on lots in every city in America that look completely fine from the outside. Clean Carfax, decent price, maybe even certified pre-owned. And buried inside those cars is a transmission that has already been the subject of a class action lawsuit, a federal safety investigation, or a documented failure pattern that mechanics have been seeing for years. You're not going to hear about that at the lot. Nobody's going to mention it. So today we're going through 10 used cars you need to think twice about, specifically because of what the court records and the federal complaint database actually show about their transmissions. We're going from concerning all the way to genuinely hard to believe, and the one at number 1 has a paper trail that stretches back a decade. Let's get into it. Number 10, the Subaru Forester and Outback with the CVT 2012 through 2018. Most people buy a Subaru because they believe the brand has earned its reputation, and for a long time that reputation was deserved. But for a specific generation of Foresters and Outbacks, the CVT transmission underneath all that brand loyalty has a failure history that Subaru's own extended warranty program quietly acknowledged years ago. Here's what the dealer won't tell you. Subaru extended the CVT warranty on most 2010 through 2018 models from the original 5-year 60,000 mile coverage all the way out to 10 years and 100,000 miles. They did that because the failure rate was bad enough to require it. If your car is still in that window, Subaru covers the repair. If it isn't, you are looking at roughly $4,000 to $6,000 out of pocket. The 2019 through 2020 Ascent CVT went further, resulting in a class action settlement called Hickman v. Subaru, which reached final approval in April of 2024, providing warranty extensions and reimbursement provisions for affected owners. The failure pattern is consistent across the forums. Shuddering at low speeds, a hesitation when you press the accelerator, then the transmission starts slipping. Most owners first notice it around 70 to 90,000 miles, often just past the window where they assume they were safe. The car that felt solid for the first 4 years turns into a $5,000 problem in year 5. If you're looking at a used Forester or Outback from this era, the most important piece of paper isn't the title, it's the documented service history on the transmission fluid. Without it, you are inheriting whatever the previous owner ignored. Number 9, the Nissan Altima, 2013 through 2018. The Altima is one of the most common used cars in America. You see it in every parking lot, on every used lot, listed in every price range. And for the generation that ran from 2013 through 2018, the CVT transmission was the subject of a class action so large, it resulted in a $277.7 million settlement. In 2016 alone, nearly half of all Lensa owner complaints about the Altima focused specifically on transmission failure. Nearly half. That is not a coincidence. That is a pattern. The settlement covered owners and lessees of Nissan Murano, Maxima, Rogue, Pathfinder, Versa, Sentra, Altima, and Infiniti QX60 vehicles equipped with Nissan CVT. Nissan did not admit wrongdoing but agreed to pay the settlement and provide warranty extensions to eligible owners. Payments and reimbursements were actively being processed as of late 2025. Here is the real danger when you shop for one of these today. The car might look like a deal because it has 80,000 miles on it and the price is right. What you're really buying is a CVT that was already failing at 60,000 miles for owners who paid full price for the car brand new. The repair bill, when it comes, runs between $4,000 and $7,000. On a car worth $10,000 to $12,000, that math doesn't work. Most owners who go through this once never buy another Nissan again, and the car ends up back on the market for the next buyer to discover. Number 8, the Jeep Grand Cherokee, multiple generations. The Grand Cherokee is at the school pickup, at the Home Depot, at every dealership in the country, and it has one of the most documented transmission complaint histories of any SUV on American roads over the past decade. NHTSA investigation PE15-030 identified 306 rollaway incidents from a transmission defect, resulting in 117 alleged crashes and 26 injuries. In November 2024, Jeep recalled 206,502 Grand Cherokees, the 2018 and 2019 models, over a faulty ABS sensor that could allow the vehicle to shift out of park without the driver's foot on the brake. For the plug-in hybrid version, Stellantis recalled 12,458 4xe models in 2023 because a transmission fault could shut down the engine entirely. NHTSA Campaign 25V576 later expanded that recall to nearly 92,000 vehicles from 2022 through 2026. On the 2021 through 2024 generation, TSB 21 to 00925, issued in 2025, documents declutch failure inside the transmission, triggering fault codes for third gear at the wrong ratio and a defective clutch pack. The dealer will tell you it's a capable, refined American SUV. The NHTSA database tells a completely different story. Before you buy one, check the recall history on the actual VIN, not the model year, the VIN. Stay with me, because what's coming at number 6 is the one with the biggest active class action window in the American truck market right now. Number 7, the Nissan Pathfinder 2013 through 2016. If the Altima CVT is the most common story, the Pathfinder version is the most expensive. Nissan took the same CVT family that struggled in their sedans and compact cars and paired it with a heavier 3-row family SUV. The result was a failure pattern that typically appeared between 58,000 and 90,000 miles. A class action covering the 2015 through 2018 Pathfinder and 2014 through 2018 Rogue resulted in settlement benefits for current and former owners, automatically including them unless they proactively opted out. Many owners were never notified in time to file. The practical problem with the Pathfinder is the size. It's heavy. Owners use it the way you'd expect a 3-row SUV to be used, loaded with a family, pulling a trailer, hauling gear. When the CVT fails on a vehicle this size, it fails harder and more suddenly, and the repair quote runs between $7,000 and $10,000. That's more expensive than the smaller Nissan CVT repairs because the unit has to handle significantly more load. The used lot price looks attractive. Pathfinders from this era often sit around $15,000 to $18,000. A single transmission failure turns that $15,000 vehicle into a $25,000 problem. Number 6, the GM Silverado, Sierra Colorado and Canyon with the 8L45 and 8L90 8-speed transmission, 2015 through 2019. You probably passed a Silverado on the highway this morning. It is America's second best-selling vehicle. And for the 2015 through 2019 generation equipped with the 8L45 or 8L90 8-speed automatic, there are class action lawsuits, formal court decisions, and roughly 800,000 vehicles in the middle of it all. The class action that proceeded under the Spearley v. General Motors name, along with the Ulrich case filed in 2024, alleges that GM knew its 8-speed transmissions were defective due to air that wasn't properly purged from the valve body during the transmission fluid process. Owners report shuddering and shaking in higher gears, hesitation and lurching in lower gears, and repair attempts that didn't hold. Multiple plaintiffs specifically alleged that GM instructed dealers to tell owners the harsh shifting behavior was normal. Several owners who replaced transmissions at cost between $8,000 and $9,500 saw the replacement units develop the same problems. The litigation history is significant. The class was certified, covering approximately 800,000 vehicles and 514,000 vehicles in the specific certified classes. In 2025, the 6th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals voted 9-7 to decertify the class due to complexity involving 26 state subclasses and 59 separate state law claims. That ruling doesn't mean the problem went away. It means individual owners now have to pursue their own claims rather than writing a class action. The internal documents behind this litigation show the plaintiffs allege GM could have fixed the transmission issue for approximately $305 per vehicle. GM chose not to. If you are shopping for a used Silverado or Sierra from this era, the 8L90 or 8L45 is something you need to ask about specifically before you buy. Number 5, the Jeep Cherokee 2014 through 2017. The Cherokee with the slim headlights, the one that showed up everywhere and seemed like a solid value. It came with a 9-speed automatic transmission developed by ZF, the German engineering company, On paper, 9 gears in a compact SUV sounded like sophisticated engineering. In practice, it became one of the most documented transmission complaints in the compact SUV segment. The 2017 through 2019 models with all-wheel drive developed a separate powertrain problem involving the power transfer unit. NHTSA tracked over 1,000 owner reports of PTU failures, leading to a recall announced in January of 2025 for 63,000 2017 through 2019 Cherokees. A class action covered the PTU defect in the 2019 through 2022 models with settlement terms including extended warranty coverage. What makes this vehicle particularly hard to walk away from is the price. Used Cherokees from this era sell at prices that look like real value. The transmission problem is exactly why they're priced that way. Mechanics have been seeing them cycle through the same sequence for years. Harsh engagement, random fault codes, limp mode on the freeway, then a complete loss of drive. When that happens, the repair quote on a 9-speed rebuild starts around $5,000 and goes up from there depending on what's actually failed internally. Nobody at the lot is going to mention any of this. Number 4, the Nissan Rogue, 2014 through 2020. The Rogue is the best-selling Nissan in America. It's in carpool lanes and grocery store parking lots across every state, and its CVT failure history connects directly to the same $277.7 million settlement that covered the Altima. The 2014 through 2018 Rogue was part of that settlement, with Nissan agreeing to warranty extensions and reimbursement provisions. Many owners only discovered they were entitled to reimbursement after the filing window had already closed. A separate class action then covered the 2019 and 2020 Rogue and Pathfinder with the updated CVT. Same failure pattern, shuddering, hesitation, then a slow decline into limp mode around 90,000 miles, sometimes earlier. At a Nissan dealership, a CVT replacement on a Rogue runs between $4,500 and $7,000 depending on the market. On a used Rogue worth $14,000, that repair turns a practical purchase into a financial problem overnight. Used Rogues are everywhere at every price point. The key question before you buy any from this generation is whether the CVT fluid has been changed at the correct intervals with documented proof. Without that proof, you're inheriting whatever the previous owner ignored. If you want straight information about what's actually worth buying out there, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. That's exactly what this channel is built for. Stay with me because number 2 is where this gets genuinely difficult to process. There is a class action behind it, a federal recall behind it, and an active window right now for owners to check their status. Number 3, the Toyota Highlander RAV4 and Camry with the 8-speed automatic 2017 through 2024. This is the one that is going to surprise most people who watch this channel, because Toyota has spent decades building the reputation of being the brand you never have to worry about, and for most of its history, that reputation was earned. But the 8-speed automatic transmission designated the UA80E, supplied by Aisin, which is 25% owned by Toyota, has now been the subject of multiple class action filings. The first major filing in December of 2025 was brought by a California plaintiff who purchased a new 2020 Highlander and watched the transmission fail at 67,200 miles. The estimated replacement cost was $7,451. With the 5-year, 60,000-mile warranty just expired, the owner carried the full cost. The lawsuit alleges Toyota and Aisin knew about the failure mode as far back as 2015, and that multiple technical service bulletins addressed symptoms without ever ordering a redesign of the component. A second class action filing in New Jersey followed in early 2026. The list of covered vehicles is significant: 2017 through current Highlander, 2019 through current RAV4, 2017 through 2024 Camry, 2017 through 2020 Sienna, 2019 through 2022 Avalon, and multiple Lexus models including the ES, NX, and RX lines. Some owners have reported transmission failures on the RAV4 as early as 30,000 miles. Depending on the model, a replacement transmission runs $9,000 or more. Neither lawsuit has reached a settlement as of early 2026. The cases are active. If you own one of these vehicles and have experienced harsh shifting, whining noises under acceleration or erratic gear selection, your VIN check at NHTSA.gov is the right first step. The complaint database already reflects a growing pattern across multiple model years. For a brand that has built its entire identity around long-term reliability, this is a development that most Toyota owners never saw coming. Number 2, the Ford F-150, Ranger, Expedition, and Mustang with the 10R80 10-speed transmission 2017 through 2023. The F-150 has been America's best-selling vehicle for over 40 years. If you drive on American roads, you pass one every few minutes. And for the 2017 through 2023 model years equipped with the 10R80 10-speed automatic, there is a class action lawsuit that has been active since 2019, has survived a Ford motion to dismiss as recently as March of 2025, and has not yet reached a global settlement. The case, consolidated under O'Connor v. Ford Motor Company in the Northern District of Illinois, focuses on harsh and delayed shifts, jerking, lunging, clunking, hesitation between gears, and sudden loss of power. Ford issued Technical Service Bulletin 24-2101 in 2024, providing updated repair and calibration procedures for certain 2017 through 2023 10R80 vehicles. The TSB was issued. Nobody called you. Owner repair costs tell the story clearly. Forum documentation shows replacement transmission quotes ranging from $9,000 to $11,700 at Ford dealerships. One owner described a complete transmission failure on I-20 near Florence, South Carolina. Another put nearly 80,000 miles on a 2019 F-150 before requiring a full replacement and received a bill for over $10,000. Multiple owners report that after a transmission flush costing several $100s, the problem got worse, not better. Ford has publicly maintained the shifting behavior is normal. The class action plaintiffs allege Ford knew or should have known about the defects before putting the 10R80 into production. The Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act claims were allowed to proceed by the court in 2025. Additional law firms in the United States and Canada have filed separate class actions covering F-150, Mustang, Ranger, Expedition, and Lincoln Navigator owners. If you are shopping a used F-150 from the 2017 through 2023 range with the 10-speed, ask specifically which transmission is in the vehicle and pull its NHTSA complaint history before you make an offer. The 10-speed is not in every F-150 from these years, but it is in enough of them that the question matters. Number 1. The Chevrolet Tahoe Suburban, GMC Yukon, and Escalade with the 10L80 and 10L1000 10-speed transmission 2021 and 2022. This is the one that has the most recent, most documented, most expensive failure record on this list. And most of the people who own one of these trucks have no idea how deep the paper trail goes. In October of 2024, NHTSA Recall 24V797 covered 461,839 diesel-powered vehicles with the 10L1000 transmission across the 2020 through 2022 model years. The recall documents acknowledge 1,888 field reports of wheel lockup, 11 incidents in which vehicles veered off roadways, and 3 injuries. 3 people were hurt before this recall was issued. The fix was a software patch, not a replacement of the physical valve body where the problem originates. An aftermarket supplier called NextGen Drivetrain independently identified crosslinks in the valve body as the root cause, developed physical replacement kits, and warned GM about what they specifically called an extreme safety problem. GM's answer was a software update. In February of 2026, NHTSA issued Recall 26V085 covering an additional 43,732 2022 vehicles because the software fix from the first recall missed vehicles built with unique internal hardware. A separate GM TSB number 22-NA182 documents harsh shift, shudder, surge, stall, neutral flare, and transmission overheating as known conditions across the platform. The class action filed in 2024 goes further. It alleges that the problems extend into 2023 and 2024 model year Escalades, Suburbans, Sierras, and Silverados. It includes a plaintiff who purchased a 2021 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali that required a full transmission replacement after multiple dealer visits failed to fix the shifting. It includes another plaintiff whose 2018 GMC Yukon experienced the full range of symptoms. It claims GM internally calculated it could have fixed the issue for approximately $305 per vehicle across the affected fleet. The Tahoe and Suburban are the vehicles American families trust for road trips from Ohio to Colorado, for pulling campers out of Texas, for getting through upstate New York winters. The idea that GM received nearly 1,900 lockup reports, watched vehicles veer off roadways, issued one recall that didn't fully fix the problem, and then issued a second recall to address what the first one missed, that is a story the window sticker never told you. Most owners assume a vehicle at this price point is built to a standard that prevents this kind of outcome. The NHTSA database tells a completely different story. So there they are. 10 used cars to think twice about before you sign anything. Which one surprised you the most? Or do you own one of these right now and have a story from the shop? Drop it in the comments. The people watching this want to hear from you. YouTube thinks you'll want to see this one next. I'll see